that day of judgment is real. That, so all of these things are examples of that. Whereas things that are dhanni, right, are if someone differs over them, it doesn't take them outside of the religion of Islam. Now, it may make them someone of Ahlul Bid'ah, and that is what would differentiate Ahlul Sunnah from the Shia, for example, Ahlul Sunnah from the Mu'tazila. And I'm sure, like, if you look at the doctrines that you've covered in your Aqidah class, those are examples of that are in the realm of dhanniyat, where they don't make a person a non-Muslim or a kafir. Rather, that person is classified as Ahlul Bid'ah. And so you see, there's a very important the implications of the distinction of what do we know for certain or necessarily know to be of the religion of Islam, and what we know to be or what's categorized as dhanni is the implications are pretty serious, with that. So these distinctions are very important to make. Sometimes we think of things that are of the religion of Islam, right? And if someone denies them, then they're not Ahlul Sunnah or they're not a Muslim. A common example, at least in the West, is like the Mawlid, right, of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yes, there's a trend of declaring the Mawlid to be a bid'ah, and anybody who practices it, وَكُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ, right? Meaning, if you practice a Mawlid, you're going to end up in hellfire. That's all afia. There's also a counter trend that created, where if you don't practice the Mawlid, are you a Sunni Muslim? That's the question that's asked. Whereas practicing the Mawlid or not has nothing to do with you being a Sunni, has nothing to do with you being whatever. It's not a matter that is that one uses to decide if someone is Ahlul Sunnah or Ahlul Bid'ah or anything. It has nothing to do with that. And many people who practice the Mawlid, they practice it out of love, and it's a valid position to follow. There are many people who do not practice the Mawlid, and they do that out of love as well, because they feel it's something in their hearts, in their understanding. They're following a valid opinion that scholars have held, and they're doing this out of love of the Prophet ﷺ too, because they think that is something that's not supposed to be done. And so they're both valid opinions. Does it make someone, is that an identifier or a practice that identifies one as a Sunni or not? Absolutely not. But it has become in the West, unfortunately. And it's a dhanni issue. That's an example of a dhanni issue. There's a difference of opinion on this issue. So it doesn't have any implications to that. And that's actually an issue that it's so dhanni that it doesn't even classify you as Ahlul Sunnah or not. It's just, an issue that if you want to practice it, Ahlun bikum. The question is the way you practice it. Now there's a lot of objectionable practices with the Mawlid. The Mawlid is actually something pretty simple and straightforward, but sometimes they make it into an elaborate event, that can raise some certain questions.